No. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. My name is Sprajc. I'm CEO and founder of PowerFolder. And first of all, I would like to thank all the organizers of this workshop. I think the true value lies in putting all these smart people together here and thinking about bringing ideas, exchanging ideas about how to shape the future about data sharing, file sharing in education and research, and beyond that, of course. So today I'm going to talk about a new initiative called the DHC, Deutsche Hochschul.cloud, which is basically an initiative to interconnect different service providers and also enterprise file sync and share providers. But before I go into what is the DHC and what's its aims and how it's technically done, I would like to introduce PowerFolder for those who don't know us yet. So we are located in Düsseldorf with a team of 13 employees working together with the University of Düsseldorf on a project called D2D Connect, which is basically funded by the Ministry of Economics. PowerFolder is profitable since 10 years. So from day one in 2007, we started to sell our products and also looked at how we can live from that. So we're a pretty stable vendor in that term. We focus on small and medium-sized companies and, of course, education and research. So we are the market leader in Germany currently in publics with the largest installation hosted by different vendors and institutions. I will come to that later. Around 3 million users and several thousand customers. A part of education and research, we usually operate through partners to bring our solution to the end users, businesses, and different people who are interested in that. So, for example, working together with Wortmann Terra, which is a huge cloud service provider in Germany, the biggest independent hardware vendor in Europe. And they started to set up a cloud based on PowerFolder to sell it to their customers. So they have a reach about 3 to 4 million end users, reaching the 10,000 partners around. So we are very excited about what we are doing. We love what we do. And we also have, which is maybe a bit different to all the other vendors, OwnCloud, NextCloud, CFile, PDO. We operate also a cloud in Germany. So it's myPowerFolder.com. It's a commercial cloud with a special, let's say, some USPs or one USP maybe, which is present in PowerFolder, is that we do peer-to-peer sharing. So means direct synchronization between clients, apps, and services, which saves time and opens the possibility for different use cases, especially in research when you have large amounts of data, which doesn't need to necessarily be shared or stored on cloud services. So we provide different additions to PowerFolder mainly through partner companies. So we do kind of cherry picking. For example, we add end-to-end encryption to our solution, but this is basically done by Cryptomator. Some of you might have heard that. Who have heard of Cryptomator? So up there, so you win a ball. Can you catch it? Yes! We didn't train it before, very good. So it's a pretty new open source end-to-end encryption library, which we can easily integrate, and we already have into PowerFolder. We can provide online editors by OnlyOffice, which is also an open source product, and we have good cooperation with that company. integrated malware protection, and by Avira. And we offer free 5 GB accounts and 25 GB lifetime accounts for education and research. So I will give you the URL where you can get it later. So coming back to the actual topic, I would like to present you the, let's say, history, how we evolved our product in research and education. And we did it, and we didn't do it on our own. We did it closely together with our customers and, let's say, also contributors, because we started in 2012 with CloudShare, which is a service hosted in Göttingen for the University of Göttingen and Max Planck Society, and now also through two DFN members through a brokering system, or let's say a marketplace, DFN Cloud. It's single sign-on and combined with LDAP and database authentication, so externals can easily go into the system and can be shared through them. So it's in production since 5 years, and I think 15,000 users currently working on this. The largest contribution they put into PowerFolder was basically scalability, clustering, and of course also quality assurance. So we got a huge part of quality assurance, making sure that administrators have a nice sleep at night. So I believe you all know that. It's good to know that systems are up and running and really have a small number of support incidents. So after we started with them together, we launched the largest educational cloud, Sync and Share Cloud in Germany, together with KIT, providing the service to 9 universities and around 65 higher education institutions with a reach of about 500,000 users. It is funded by the Ministry of Science and Art and integrates seamlessly with DFN, which means 2 parts, the DFN AI and the DFN Cloud. Also, those guys are selling this to other DFN members through the DFN. So this was started recently. And I want to share some interesting figures on this, because they're 3 years in production now. They have another 3 years now. So in 3 years in production, the adoption rate is about 10%. So it's around 50,000 users using the system at the moment. In 3 years, we aim for the next 3 years, or they aim to get up to 20–25%. What we experienced from several sources, and I can share those sources if you want. Basically, it's on a Dropbox website that we reduced the use of Dropbox by 25% in that particular area. So we estimate the number of Dropbox users in that state in the education sector, about 100,000 accounts. So it's not like, so to bring down some figures here. Their biggest contributions to PowerFolder and the Sync and Share solution we provide was SAML and Shibboleth integration into the clients, especially ECP, which makes it really easy for the user to use it and not to re-authenticate every day and things like that. So with that in mind, there are some in Germany, the federal states are like competing a bit. So, and then in Baden-Württemberg, they made this nice project. It's also a great success for KIT, of course. The guys in Bavaria approached us and say, "Oh, we want this too. we want a similar thing also for our state." The reach is about 400,000 users. It's hosted by Leibniz Rechenzentrum for Technical University and LMU. Also, they have added 11 more institutions to the system and expanding even more. It's based in 2 locations. So in the south, you have TUM, and in the north, you have the Friedrich Alexander University, which is hosted by the Regionales Rechenzentrum Erlangen, typical. They provide this to the university and 6 more universities and institutions. Interesting on this is that they use a mixed single sign-on with LDAP database for external users and also SAML ECP, which comes down as an integrated list, like choose your institution, and then the system knows which authentication source to use. So this is very interesting, and it's all about the users. I mean, it must be very easy for the users, and also secure. So with Shibboleth, we implemented a device-based token authentication mechanism. So people authenticate via Shibboleth ECP. Then they receive a token, which of course is transparent to the user, and the device is then re-authenticated on later days to avoid storing any credentials or re-entering the credentials. So that's also integrated in the mobile apps and clients. And they are in production like a bit more than a year. They have like 40,000 accounts now, and in peak times they had 2,000 new accounts per week. So they were last good starting point on that. Their biggest contribution to Powerfolder was or is the federated cloud sharing, because they say, okay, we need to interconnect those 2 sites, and of course it's not bounded by 2 sites, but even more. So with that in mind, they not just funded, but provided a lot of input on how this should work and what should be done with federated cloud sharing. And based on that, we, together with all these 3 different vendors or 3 providers, we started the initiative DHC, Deutsche Hochschul.cloud, which basically aims to promote the interconnection between cloud service providers. Also aims to, of course, implement the technical details and the technical stuff. It aims to win service providers to adopt to federated cloud sharing, find a consensus and promote it on a political level, because funding is important. And politicians like nice projects in the IT, so they get the stars on their jacket. So it's fine. So we are very proud to announce this, and it was recently started, like in January basically. So the concept and technical implementation were done last year. So it's already started. These are the universities and institutions taking part in the beginning. And in the beginning, they have a summarized reach, about 1 million users in Germany. We aim, of course, to extend that. There are about 3.3 million users in the educational sector in Germany, so we reach about 1/3 of them from the beginning, from day one. That's basically, let's say, the overview, what we are planning or what we are doing together with all these institutions. One important point is here that with the DHC, we also want to interconnect with different vendors and also different initiatives like Open Cloud Mesh. So one goal of this initiative is also to provide interoperability to other vendors based on Open Cloud Mesh, and that's something. I also have some goodies with me later to say how to do it. So now from, let's say, the overview, I would like to go down into into the technical parts. So, and the technical part is like beginning at the user first. So the user wants to sync and share files with colleagues from different vendors. And based on that, it should be really easy to use. So what is the thing you know from someone else? Most likely the email address. So we said, okay, from the beginning, we need some user discovery mechanism. This user discovery mechanism has to be secure. And that's the foundation to make it easy to use. So I really was excited to hear that in Open Cloud Mesh they are also, we are always all thinking the same way, going the same direction. So must be something good to work on. So with federated clouds in Power Folder, we have the end user level, so that's how we see it. There's a device-to-device synchronization, also a direct synchronization to the mobile apps. And users are hosted on Cloud B, for example. And let's say we do it, go into detail here. For example, to share a file or a folder to a user on another cloud, we go through the cloud provider, send over a sharing request, including a token, and the user of the other cloud C can then transparently the files. So it looks like that he is accessing the files locally, but it's transparent in the background. It's accessing the files located on Cloud B. Also, it goes like with the clients, or let's say it's similar. So our desktop clients and mobile apps are able to directly synchronize to clients which are connected to a different cloud provider, which is in the list of trusted clouds. So we will see that later. How we do that. And the user discovery basically is performed between those clouds, utilizing different data sources. And I will go back down here. So on the service provider level, a request is sent to all, when a sharing happens, a request is sent to all trusted clouds with a validated and request. Basically, the simple answer is, or the question is, do you know this user by email address? And then say, no, no, yes. Because I know it, it's in a user account in my database, or it's a user account in my local LDAP, or it's based on domains you can define, or it's based on rules and maybe also scripts, external scripts. We often hear, for example, email aliases are difficult to get from LDAP. Those are sometimes stored in different systems. So we also add some small snippets to retrieve information from other systems, so you can easily extend that. This goes hand in hand with another layer. This is we call it the trust provider level. Who then promotes a central list of trusted clouds. So every installation has this list of trusted clouds, but in the end, when it gets messier, if you have 100 of these, you have to have some guy or some entity who is dealing with the list of trusted service providers, basically, which is very similar to Active Directory, Forest, and trusted domains, and which is also very similar to the AAI systems the NRANs have in place. And we see this role best maybe located at an NRAN level, since there are processes in place to do it. However, this is some future goal. So I'm going to the roadmap, what is planned. So last year, the DHC set up a test federation. So with trusted services, clients and app, just testing basic functionality. Does it work? Where are the problems? Where are the things we need to address? In 2017, it's basically ready for production, and we aim to operate different federal setups with federal trust centers. And beyond that, we plan a countrywide and in and outside of the European Union interconnection, and of course winning NRANs as trust centers to do the trust relationships. Of course, this also includes solving different different challenges, like what happens if a user is hosted on 2 services. This may happen, or things like that. So there's a lot of things we can discuss also later in the panel, and that's basically my input for today. But I have some goodies or free goodies, yeah. So relaxation tools, yeah. In case you missed it, you can get some more later, or at contact@powerful, of course. We will send it to you. We offer lifetime free 25 gigabyte cloud space for education. So just go to mypowerful.com, register your account, save it for later. Next 20, 50, 100 years, depends what healthcare does. And we would like to give some input to Open Cloud Mesh. So all the technical documentation about our federated cloud implementation in PowerFolder is available at wiki.powerfolder.com. You can dig into that. I think we will have a discussion on that, and I mean the concepts are pretty similar. We also can contribute a file sync and share protocol, which is redesigned in Google Protocol Buffer, which is a vendor-neutral, independent way to send and receive packets, serialized data, basically structured data. We plan to make it public in the first quarter of this year. And of course, for anyone who is interested in taking part of the test federation, we provide free test licenses, tech support for federated cloud testers. And one last thing, we also, which is very nice, we provide free licenses for students. So we see it as kind of marketing. Yeah. So they take it then into the companies and hopefully promote it there. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Christian.
Feel free to ask questions on whatever level.
Thank you.
Don't take this too serious, but where did you apply to the name Deutsche Hochschul.cloud, German High School Cloud?
Yeah.
I'm also German. I feel a little bit excluded.
So the name is basically first mentioned in 2012 on the IT Gipfel, and they put out the idea to drive IT economics in Germany. So we put up this term and coined it now into the initiative. So no one is included, it's just the name. It's also aiming to interconnect with, of course, outside of Europe and Germany.
Are there any other questions? So I think there will be some discussion after with also the on-cloud mesh and this other initiative for the federation.